For over 20 years, Arrow Leadership has been following Jesus' model of leadership development, intentionally investing in a few select leaders over an extended period of time.
John Maxwell said something that might be hyperbole. He said, everything stands or falls on leadership, everything. And we face a leadership challenge because there's a changing of the guard, where there's a generation of leaders who will be retiring, and then we need leaders to step into those slots. At the same time, we need to see God raise up young men and young women to be agents of the gospel and exercise kingdom leadership.
Arrow's calling is to help equip Christian leaders for one of history's most extraordinary moments in time.
We are in such transition. The whole world is in transition. When you look from east to west to north to south, all economic transition, political structures, things are changing, but the spiritual environment and climate are changing so much. The church is an incredible transition, and we need good, godly, biblical leadership to help guide us through it.
Christians must be prepared to lead well amid global economic uncertainty, tarnished views of truth, and a deepening character void.
And we need something like Arrow that's holistic. So it's not just about letting young bucks loose to shoot up the kingdom of darkness, but we need to speak into issues of character formation and spiritual development. And I think the Arrow mantra speaks well to this, that the kind of leaders we need are leaders who will be led more by Jesus. They'll be under the governance of King Jesus. They'll also be committed to leading more like Jesus. So that speaks to issues of being open to the Holy Spirit, and also who are committed with a passion to leading more to Jesus.
From my experience, Arrow was great at focusing on the importance of character and leadership. We had an opportunity to look at some of our strengths and our weaknesses. We had an opportunity to look at what our relationship with God was like, and that's critical for leadership. Often people who come into leadership have a natural gifting, but they don't know how to use it well to inspire and empower people.
Which means every leader that goes through addresses heart and character issues. They've come through a battery of assessments. They meet with both a qualified psychologist as well as leader partners like myself. The 4 residentials build on each other, are streamlined, connected, interrelated, and one of the good things that they have are the peer clusters that meet in between. So that means that you're not taking a course and checking it off. You are completely connected to the Arrow experience for the 2 years that you're engaged in it.
Arrow's multi-layered mentoring relationships form the safe community so necessary to cultivate a leader's growth. It's in this context, informed by a 360-degree assessment process, that each participant focuses on their individualized leader development plan. Utilizing this highly intentional, holistic approach, Arrow nurtures growth in character, calling, and competency.
I think the reality is the church rises and falls based on the level of leadership. And so I have experienced firsthand that if you can have a church where there is an incredible level of giftedness and potential and opportunity, but if leadership doesn't lead, if it's not healthy, then eventually everything will settle down to that level. And so I think there's a lot of our ministries where there's just so much potential that's there and that never gets realized because leadership doesn't rise up and take it further. I think it's hugely important that leadership excels first and then everything else seems to follow along.
I was a leader in the 22nd class of Arrow. Long term, Arrow has given me, first of all, just greater freedom to be who I am, just moving forward in whatever sphere of influence God would give me. But also He's given me a framework for developing other leaders and other people as well. So the framework I've been given is one that will be with me for the rest of my life. And it's a framework that has worked for hundreds, if not thousands, of leaders in the Arrow process.
I believe Arrow has a proven process that I've watched work in people's lives. I see men and women who are going back into their churches, who are going back into their ministries, who are going back into some larger companies, organizations, ministries, or churches as well, and they are more effective for that flock to be led. I see God making a difference in the lives of those people through those leaders who are more ready, more available, more able to lead by the power of God than they were before they came. And they are willing to, as I said earlier, to let it percolate in their life over those years, because that's what it takes. It doesn't happen short. I look back 12 years, I'm not the same person I was 12 years ago, but there's a change, there's a depth, and that's what I see happening in these leaders, and that's why I'm here. I am an Arrow leader.
I am an Arrow leader.
My name is Tim McCarthy, and I'm an Arrow leader.
I'm an Arrow leader.
My name is Scott Anderson, and I'm an Arrow leader.
I'm an Arrow leader.